everybody, and welcome back to UniTrader. Today we will be taking a look at another free tool on TradingView and one of my absolute favorites. I know I say that every time, but honestly, this is one that I use every single day, all day long. It really never leaves my chart unless I'm really looking at something on a clean chart. But as I day trade, I use this constantly. So we will be looking at the fixed range tool today, the fixed range volume profile. You come in, generally this is going to be looking like long short positions, projections, yeah. We come to the bottom here, then we find our fixed range volume profile. It's a 2-click tool, and we're on the daily chart here, and I am just going to mark out this whole range from here, that's December 12th, all the way to present, and you see it gives you this sideways volume profile. Now this volume profile is pretty much on standard default. However, the value area lines I've added. So if you just come into your settings, you see here value area high, value area low. So you definitely want these on, and I believe on the default it comes in blue. I prefer white, but you can make your own chart, use the colors you enjoy to see. And also we can play with the settings of these bars, which is something that I really do on these big time frames. So this is a huge range, and this doesn't really give you too much information. I would want to get a lot more info. So what we will do is come into the inputs, and you would change the row size. For something this big, you can go up to 70, but play around with it and find something that looks like it gets good respect, because once you change these row sizes, it is going to change your points of control. You'll notice the point of control moved up, and it actually gets well respected right here. And also will move the value area slightly. So what is this good for, this volume profile? Well, it really shows you areas of interest. So you see these big peaks here. These are called high volume nodes, and these are where a lot of people are interested, and there's been a lot of volume in history played out here. So if we come back up, once we start getting into this sort of area, we're expecting to see some sort of reaction, and even off of the value area low. So if you have a couple of confluence factors here, look for a reaction. The point of control will be huge. I mean, that's 47,000, 48,000, which is a monster level. It's been a monster level for a while. And so that is really how you want to use this tool. Now, we have a lot of ranges here, so we can actually, break this up into all of these ranges and really get a good idea of where there's a lot of interest. So obviously here's the point of control. We're today trying to get over that. I don't know if that's going to happen, but if it does, we are likely moving back up to at least the value area high. Okay, so that is it. It's a pretty simple tool, and now I'm going to show you how I use it for day trading. So I'm going to come down to the 15-minute chart here, and what I do every single day when the market opens, for me, I'm in a UTC time zone, so market open here is at 1 a.m. and that's quite a lot of information with this many rows. So I will take it to the default settings, and there we go. So we can see here this, I'm actually going to, oh good, it's on unextended. So what happens, let's say the market has just opened, you're going to have this tiny little volume profile because nothing's really happened yet. And then as the day starts to progress, it starts to really widen out, show you where there's interest. And really it starts to get interesting after about 9 o'clock. Here we're going to 9:15. So now we have quite a few markets open, and we're just really waiting for New York to open at 9:15. So once we break down out of this and we kind of consolidate a little bit here, and we break down further the volume area, sorry, the value area, which is in between the two value areas, the high and the low, start to really form. And also we start to get this good information here. We know that there's some interest at this area where the point of control is, and also around here there's been some good interest. But what I do is I always wait for the New York Open. If I'm not in a trade, that's my favorite time to trade, is the New York Open. And the New York Open for us here in the UTC time zone is 2:30. Now that is the full New York Open. So futures market open at 2:30, but you do have pre-market at 2 o'clock. So if you're in New York, it's obviously 9:30 it opens, and 9 o'clock you have the pre-market. So we really want to look at what's going on between 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Let me just unextend that, right? So this box here is basically representing, not basically, it is representing the New York Open, okay? From 2 o'clock till 3 o'clock. And this is a tricky time to really get into a trade, because New York Open is pretty volatile usually, and it tries to shake people out. It'll shake you up, down, and up, and kind of swirl it all around. But what we do with this value area range is, if New York opens at the bottom of the range, many times it will actually just maybe come out of the value area a little bit and go for a stop hunt and take out the longs, the early longs, and then it will continue. Many times, if New York opens at the high of the day, then it will come down. So it will continue sometimes, so context is very important here, right? Now, I am going to delete this box, and I am going to delete this value area range, because as I said, I put this on my chart every single day. So here you can see I've got my zones. So all of these profiles represent a session. So these sessions are not these sessions, but this volume profile is very good to help you understand how the market moves in a day. Markets generally don't go up and down in a straight line. Very rare. Bitcoin goes parabolic once in a while up and parabolic once in a while down. But other than that, it's always in a range. So if we're in a range 80% of the time, that means 80% of the days are also going to be in a range. So they're just going to kind of go up and down and up, and that's it. So this really will help you understand rotation of the market on a daily basis. And you'll start to understand how to look for some stuff. For example, here we have a pretty textbook double distribution day, meaning that we had two areas here. You'll see this high volume node here, and we have another area of high volume, and it kind of looks like a B. So that's what a double distribution day is. It looks like a B. You'll see here. Yep, I am an artist. So, oh, so in a double distribution day, usually, you're going to get a rotation down to the bottom, and then it will come back up and try to fill in this in, in, ugh, inefficiency. Pardon me. And that's exactly what it did. Also, you will notice that some days are just really sort of flat and very balanced, right? So these are balanced days. Um, but the trick here is to just kind of look at this on a regular basis, incorporate this into your charts, and just start to try to understand the signs that these things are giving you. Some of it is really just kind of intuitive. Sometimes it's fake, it just doesn't work at all. But what we're going to be really focusing on here is the New York Open. That's what I really focus on the day trades. So let's take a look yesterday. Yesterday, oh, gonna get my trusty box here. So 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. There we go. So this was the New York Open from 2 till 3 o'clock. So that's the first hour of New York trading. And you'll see the first candle. I mean, it was just not much happened. It looks like it's indecisive. The 230, the 215 candle comes down, kind of going for a stop hunt. The next candle also came down to see if they could catch any more early longs. And then we get this big wick to the upside. Maybe got some early longs in there. And then it comes back down. Maybe stop people out, who knows. And then you see once 3 o'clock hits, it starts to kind of normalize and then go back up. So it comes back to that idea. If the New York session opens at the bottom of the daily range that has formed so far, then it will likely, and here I'll show you what that looked like at 2 o'clock. So at 2 o'clock we were way outside of the range, and this was after that CPI news was released, and everybody thought, oh my God, Bitcoin's going. But no, it's just doing its daily range, and actually it came out to be a very balanced day yesterday. And then we're going to take this till 3 o'clock. So this is where I'm really starting to look to get in. And you see we come back into the value area, then we do a little fake out, and then as soon as we get accepted back in, that's really where I'm looking to take longs. If you're very confident and you have some good factors of confluence, you can get in a trade earlier. So I'm always screaming about confluence. I'm just going to extend this out here. And I'll tell you why I took a trade earlier yesterday. And that was, today. So I took a trade earlier today because I'm going to hide these for a second. You see, we're in this confirmed channel, an ascending channel here. And just look at the 1 hour chart here. You see, here we are. It's been a pretty well respected channel. We had that deviation yesterday. And then back into the channel. And then we came back to retest it. And that's exactly where we were at the New York Open. And so happens to be at the bottom of our value area. So pretty easy along here, I have to say. There was more confluence here as well, but I'm not going to show you everything that I had for confluence, but this is what we're looking for, right? With our daily levels, weekly levels, swing failure pattern levels. Actually, I haven't talked about that, but we'll talk about that very soon. Um, if any fibs, so building up our stories. Let's see what the Fibonacci retracement looked like here. Come from that previous low, and we're right on the 0.5 Fibonacci, which is right on top of this value area. So, you know, 0.5 is not the strongest Fibonacci level, but it is a pretty strong level nonetheless if you find good confluence. So we've got a channel bottom, 0.5 Fibonacci, the value area low of the range with the New York Open. Now, if the New York Open does not open at the bottom or at the top of a range, but honestly, it happens a lot. When the New York opens, for some reason, we're at the top or the bottom most of the time, I would say. Most, you know, like 60% at least. I don't have the stats on that. I will get stats on that. So if we're in the middle of the range and New York opens, and let's say that the point of control was also decently in the middle of the range, what New York generally do is take the lows, take the highs, and then kind of bounce around or continue, right? But what you're looking for when you're in the middle of the range and New York opens, you know, it's going to be a much tougher environment because usually it will take both the low and the high and not in that order. It might go for the high, then the low. You never know. But they will shake people out and make you pay. So this is it. What I would recommend, you know, if you don't know your market opens, you know, you really should. You should really know Asia Open, Europe, and New York. You don't have to break it down into, you know, Sydney, Tokyo, Hong Kong, Germany, uh, London, but it actually helps if you do. The more complex you kind of get in your understanding of the market dynamics, like it's always good to know that Germany opens at 7 o'clock and an hour later at 8, London opens. And just that range of the London Open and the Germany Open, the range that they create between themselves is a pretty decent level on a day trading gig. So let's see if I can show you that real quick. So Germany Open, this was today, and we'll look at the London Open also today. So not too much going on today, but you see the London Open, it comes to the downside a little bit, tests the open again, and then comes down, and pretty well respected. Oftentimes it will actually come to the Germany Open and reject off of that, and if you claim both of these, you're usually off to the races like we were today. Not always, but usually. So this is a very good thing to understand. You don't have to draw out horizontal lines on it. One thing I would recommend actually is there's a great indicator. I mean, there's a lot of indicators with the sessions on them. A really good one is Tino from Traders Reality. You know, go check out his YouTube channel. He does really great stuff and really helps you understand how the markets move, how the market maker manipulates price. Well, not manipulates, how he moves price. That's the name of the game. It's not really manipulation, although retail loves to scream manipulation. But he'll give you a good understanding of that, and he has a great indicator that will show you all of the market opens. I actually have it here. I can show it to you real quick. So this is what it looks like. It's a vector candle indicator. Vector candles are also something that you should be looking at all the time. So you see here, you've got Sydney, Tokyo, Hong Kong. This is basically your Asia session. Then you've got your London. This is Europe, right? And this is the Open. And then here you've got the US Brinks box, he likes to call it, Tino calls it, because that's really where you're looking to kind of break the bank, right? But so this is your New York session, this red box here. And then you've got all of these moving averages, which are actually quite amazing as well. So this is a great uh, great indicator template you can get for free. Check them out. Traders Reality, and he has a website, tradersreality.com, where you can download these indicators, or if you want to get them, if you just want to go to trading, if you don't get them, you actually can. What is it called? I believe it's actually called Traders Reality. Yeah, it is. Traders Reality by Infernix with a double X. Infernix. But check out Tino, give him a like and a subscribe. He actually streams every what is it? I believe Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday during the New York Open. Maybe even Monday. I can't remember now. But he's a lot of fun, high energy. Sounds like he's calling a horse race, or he's holding an auction, which I guess is really what this is. But yeah, this template is pretty brilliant. And also these vector candles, you'll notice the candles look quite a bit different. This is golden information as well that you can easily find explained. Tino will explain it to you. He's got some great videos on it. And if not, just ask away. Leave a comment and I'll explain vector candles if you want for the next video. Anyhow, that is pretty much going to do it. And let Tino know Unitrader sent you. But yeah, so again, we are building the story, right? We had 0.5 Fibonacci, we had channel bottom, New York Open at the bottom of our volume profile daily range. And look at this beautiful, look at this thing. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. What was the move on this? We're looking at 4% more or less. Even if you got in a bit late, you're looking at a 48% move, even if you got in like 4.8%. I generally trade a 10x, so for me it was over 48%. I got 51% or so. Already closed it out, and now I'm looking not to short this because honestly we've just come off the bottom of the channel. I would imagine that we go a little bit higher. We're definitely going to retrace though to pick up some more longs and get some more liquidity to move back up. I would imagine it could go straight up, but who knows? Nobody knows. So again, this is great for understanding the rotation on the day. Yep. If you look back, it just, that's really all it does. It just rotates in between these ranges. Look for confluence. Set your trades, set your targets, proper risk management. Remember, this is for entertainment purposes and education purposes only. I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. This is for paper trading only. Yeah, so please, just put this on your chart, start playing with it, and find information from it, glean information from it. Use your other indicators or your other free tools. Look for confluence. Build that story up as to why you should take that short, that long, whatever it is, and nail it. All right, guys, that is it for me. Hope that was informative. Any questions, let me know in the comments, and I will respond. Thanks. Have a great day.